Welcome to another Tap In on Tuesdays where we use EFT tapping to help strengthen your authentic creative connection. Today we are going to do some tapping on something I don't generally tap on, which is fear of something you want. And the reason we're doing this is I have another video about this thing I'm not yet doing, on how you might be procrastinating and why there's something you think you should be doing or want to be doing and you're not moving forward on it. This is different though. We're going to be tapping on when you do know what you want and you are moving towards it, but you're afraid to take what one might call the final step or steps in that direction. And we're going to tap on why that might be and hopefully shift some things so that there's greater ease in actually allowing and experiencing fully what it is that you want instead of just barely getting there or starting and doing really well and then stopping yourself because you're afraid. So, taking full responsibility for your well-being and all the benefits you gain from this, I'm afraid to move forward. I have great clarity about what I want. I am moving in that direction. And sometimes it feels like I have just one or maybe a few steps left, and I'm stopping myself. I'm not frozen in fear. It's not that I don't know what to do. It's that I'm going to admit that I am afraid. And my fear is why I'm not moving forward. Eyebrow point. I'm afraid. Side of the eye. I'm acknowledging that I am afraid. Under the eye. As unpleasant or uncomfortable as it might be, under the nose. I can at least feel some relief in acknowledging and saying, I am scared. Under the mouth. And I'm pretty sure I know why. Collarbone. I know what I'm afraid of. Under the arm. And even though I'm afraid, top of the head. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. And this fear. I'm going to stop for a brief moment because I don't generally say that, but it is a very common thing with EFT tapping to say, doing the setup statement, even though blank, fill in the blank, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. So I felt like I wanted to throw that in here because when you're the kind of afraid that I'm tapping on right now with you, it is because you acknowledge your fear and maybe you're afraid of being afraid, or maybe you just didn't want to admit that you were afraid. And when you do, you're going to feel that immediate shift like, okay, no, I'm telling you flat out, I'm afraid. And there's some relief that comes from that. There's some release that comes from that. So, just wanted to throw that in. So, continuing with the eyebrow point, I've made some really big progress. If I compare where I am now to where I was 6 months ago, it's amazing. If I compare where I am now to where I was 1 month ago, it's amazing. I'm going to go ahead and toot my own horn and say I'm doing pretty awesome. I've already moved past a lot of fear. I've already gotten past the freezing when I don't know what to do or I'm overwhelmed. I'm thawed. I am, in fact, very, very, very ready for what it is that I want. And this nagging, lingering fear is the tiny, tiny, tiny bit of the old me that's still there. And it's there because it's trying to keep me safe from things that I'm afraid will happen. And I acknowledge and appreciate that some part of me is trying to do that. I also acknowledge that when I eat a fresh apple, I don't eat the entire apple. I don't eat all the seeds and the core. I put that in the compost. So maybe this little bit of fear is just the decomposing remnants that I am actually already done with. It's not even that I'm ready to let go of it, I've already let go of it. I know what it is that I want. And some part of me wants to look around and say, I don't have it yet, so I can't let go of what I do have yet. Because in order to let go of what I do have, I want to have something to replace it. And that logically makes a lot of sense. But if I'm holding something in my hand and I want to hold something else in that hand, I need to let it go first. It doesn't have to be a fast, sudden switch. It doesn't have to be a juggling act. I don't need to be afraid. I can put the first object down before picking up the second. Excuse me. It sounds so weird when you cough on Zoom because it like does weird things with the audio. Anyway, it was a normal cough. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna let go of this thing in my hand so that I can pick up the new thing and hold that instead. And there's gonna be that tiny bit of I've got nothing in my hand. And it's gonna be easier for me to experience that knowing that I do know what I want and I'm gonna have it when I let go of this. I don't know all of the unfolding. I don't know all of how it's going to happen. I might not even precisely know what it is that I want it to look like. And I don't have to because I do know what it feels like. If I get too cold and I say I'd like to be warmer, I know what warmer feels like. Who cares if it's a blanket or a jacket or a sweater that warms me up? If I focus on the feeling, then it doesn't feel like there's so much distance between what I want and what I don't have yet. If that sweater is within reach, I can go ahead and grab it. That tiny bit of time in between me acknowledging the cold and seeing the sweater, as I'm moving towards it with my hand out and ready, empty and ready to pick it up. It's not such a scary experience to do that. So some part of me knows what I want and knows what it feels like. Some part of me is trying to keep myself safe from saying, it's not happened, it's not going to happen, just let it go. The desire is not going anywhere. The sweater's right there, and I don't have to freeze to death. I can handle a few more moments of being cold on my way to it. The difference between fear and excitement can sometimes be hard to discern. Because the physical sensations can be so similar, but the mental thoughts are very different. So, by acknowledging that I'm a little bit afraid, I'm going to also acknowledge that there's a lot of excitement too. I have a lot of experience that has helped me to understand what it is I prefer instead. And I cannot and will not fail. This time, the things that have happened before will not be happening again. I don't need to recreate what I didn't like. No part of me needs to expect my own failure. This time I've got it. My hands are open and they're ready to receive. I'm going to acknowledge if I have moments of being afraid. Just like those few steps towards the sweater where it's really, really cold. There's a comfort in knowing the warmth that's waiting. And that's the direction I'm going in. So I'm going to say, yeah, I have my moments. I'm afraid. Thank you, Fear, for helping me to know where I'm at in this present moment. Thank you for the reminder to look at the sweater. And you know what? Sometimes you don't even have to go towards it, it gets tossed to you. Because what you want wants you too. At a core vibrational level. Matches like to resonate. And non-matches naturally go away. So I declare that I am letting go of the non-match. Fear is not a match to who I am and what I want. Excitement and enthusiasm. That's a much better match. I'm accepting the moments of fear. I'm acknowledging the progress I've made. And I'm going to give myself a moment to just be as I transition. And that's all I need to do right now. And in this moment, I'm no longer afraid. So, as I was saying that last bit, I got this image of the beach as the tide is changing. And if you imagine yourself as being the sand underneath the water as it's going up and down and the ebb and flow of the ocean, then you're actually steady and stable. And sometimes you're wet and sometimes you're dry. And there's a whole bunch of stuff that can get washed up on you. But you at your core are solid and steady, and the changes can happen around you and affect you, but you're still the beach. And sometimes when you're making a transition and you're afraid of, well, I don't know how to get there, so I'm afraid to go there because what about letting go of this old stuff? Let be like the beach and let the stuff get washed out to sea. You know, sometimes there's a huge wave and really cool stuff comes up. I'm working on a shark tooth summit right now, so I'm thinking about the ways the very first time I found a shark tooth, it was like way washed up, and I think that a huge wave had come right before and brought it right to me. So when I was walking, I said, "Is that really? That's a big, relatively big shark tooth just right there in front of me." And yes, it was. I had been looking for teeth, and there it was. Finally, I met my match. I was open to it. I wasn't focused on it. And some big wave came before I was walking there and washed up a beautiful tooth for me right in my path. So be like the beach and let go of the thing that you're holding on to that you think is keeping you safe from that one final step or last few steps into the new world, the new experience, the new that you've been desiring and that you are now a match to, because it really wants to come to you. It wants to be experienced by you. It's resonating with you. And that old, you can just let it go. Just forget about it. Let it be washed out to sea and just say, okay, cleanse it, take it where it needs to go now. Not mine anymore. It's like an echo. It was there, it was part of my experience, and I release it. Because you really cannot, it's not even that you don't want to, you cannot bring that forward with you, which is why you're not moving forward right now. You're holding on to something that is not coming with you. Let it go. Just totally let it go. Move on to the next thing. And maybe don't even try to be grabbing hold of something else. Go ahead and walk with your hands open for a little bit and see what matches come when you're really in alignment and stepping forward with your actual desires. Hopefully that helps. You can always tap again if it's useful. And anytime you start to feel fear, just acknowledge, hey, I'm feeling this. And is it excitement? Is it fear? Is it something I'm holding on to? Is it something I'm ready to let go of? You'll only know for yourself, and it will be different every single moment. But if you're in this in between and you're almost there, I just encourage you to keep your eye on what it is you want. Get so comfortable with it that the rest of it falling away doesn't scare you anymore because you're ready. I'll see you next week for another Tap In on Tuesdays.